Kalan Wolf.
Effort versus Sleep.
Starting to the bottom left with a 1-0 lead in the series, we have Effort. Took the first game against his opponent with a great split of his army, able to surround the entire force of his opponent and just crushing it. And starting to the top right, we have, of course, for KT Rolls. So this is Sleep, a former Zubu player. Doing well in the past, but not having the best day today.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, he had a solid run against Ruin. It's just that Ruin kind of caught him off guard a little bit and played really solid. And that's why Ruin's already in that consolation match. Sleep wants revenge, but he has to win 2 maps in a row now, including the first map that he has picked, Yunsu. And so far, we don't see any early pools. And I think we might see Effort go pool first. I wouldn't be surprised. He hasn't sent a drone down, and we'll see.
Yeah, there we have already the pool started for Sleep, and Effort is doing the same thing, so both of them with the same build here. Yeah. And this is definitely a smaller map. You get the scouting information faster, you know where opponent spawns, you will have a look at his natural, and you can do whatever. I mean, this is a map where you have more transparency, and it's not so much about the scouting information. If on a 4-player map you scout into the wrong direction, you get very late info on what exactly is happening, so you can also get away with a bit more greedier build order. But here we have both of them starting with the same build. Effort being like a few seconds faster than Sleep, but that's about it.
Yeah, just a few seconds faster, and it's something that I expected to see from Effort is a pool first. I did not expect to see a pool first from Sleep because it's his map pick, and I expected him to play the greedier build despite being down in the series just to try to get ahead. But now that they're both at the same place, we'll see if Sleep can make some better choices. One of the things about ZVZ to me is oftentimes a player gets ahead in build order-wise, but when a game that you have like this where they're both basically dead, even though they're doing the exact same thing, you really get to see who is the better player on this map because they both make... It's like all about who makes the better decisions. There's no advantages early on.
Well, it depends a bit on the gas timings now, because for Effort we have already an extractor taken.
That's
what
true.
Sleep could do here is just go in 4 queens and play a very mineral-based play, and then add the double gas a little bit later. That would put him in a very passive position where he can't move out onto the map, but where he gets a bit of a head start in economy. He just has to hold on, and it looks very much like that's what we're going to see here. Because so far there's no extractor taken, whereas Effort is already mining, will get the faster speed because of that. But Effort, Sleep looks more and more like he wants to go into just a very economy-heavy play, and that could work out for him in the end.
Yeah. Queen block at the top of the ramp denies the scout of Effort. Meanwhile, Sleep tries to do the same, or tries to get into the main base. Effort's block is the same, and he doesn't actually successfully block here, so the 2 Zerglings will get in the main base here, scout how much gas has been mined, and now Sleep knows everything.
Yeah. And it's actually funny that Effort is getting the Spinecrawler, because he will not need that Spinecrawler at all. But we've seen in most of his games the Spinecrawler so fast. So far, he really wants to keep that, and he cancelled it actually, and that makes a lot of sense. He saw the extra queens coming out of Sleep space, and he realized as well, you do not have gas. You actually invested into additional queens. You're going to play a very passive game here, so I don't need my Spinecrawler. Instead, Effort drops now the Baneling Nest, and that's actually a very interesting touch, because why would you get the Baneling Nest if you already know that your opponent is not going to play aggressive?
The only reason
you yourself don't want to attack.
Yeah, the only reason it would be to possibly be aggressive himself, but he hasn't shown just yet at all today. Okay, so he cancels that too.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because it's very difficult to break through a defense like this if you only have Lings and Banelings. You need to take down the queens at the ramp, and if there are 4 queens, it's pretty difficult to do that because there's extra energy already saved up. You can keep those alive. If then there's an additional Spinecrawler and you target well with your queens and the Spinecrawler itself, all of those Banelings will be gone. There's even the risk of running into a wall, and that's what Sleep is already building up. So Effort cancels the Baneling Nest and instead decides to go into the Roach one here. Sleep building now even the Roach one for Effort instead. So for Sleep instead. That production depth is killing me.
Yeah, it's the colors are actually really similar, so I don't blame you for getting confused. It's definitely going up there at the top for Sleep, and there's the layer coming up for Sleep as well.
Yeah, the bottom line is Effort can play a lot more greedy now, because he knows there is nothing coming his way.
Very true.
And that's why he gets the 3rd.
Yeah.
He knows that there's no way for Sleep to contest it at this point.
Yeah, without speed, it's definitely not going to be possible. And he's starting to get his Evolution Chamber up as well here now. Their timing is relatively similar for both of them, but this is a great position for effort economy-wise. He's going to explode here once this base starts getting saturated. And he's already sending a few drones over here. I like that very quickly. Spine crawler being moved here. He's actually... What? Why is he adding 3 spines here? Or adding a second and third spine? What has he scouted that's made him believe this? Now he sees a third base. He probably is going to cancel those.
Yeah, I don't know what those spine crawlers are for. He skipped, yeah, that's the cancel. You know, he skipped completely the speed for the Lings and decided to go straight into Roaches and the double Roach upgrades. With the double upgrades, he will have upgrades faster than Effort, because Effort does only have 1 evolution chamber that he uses at this point. So that gives Sleep a little bit of an edge in the early mid-game, and I feel I
think he saw with his Overlord at the bottom right that there was no hatchery there, and that's where he expected the third base location. There wasn't a hatchery, so he started the spines, then scouted the other third base location, saw the base was there, then canceled.
Yeah, I think you're right about this. For a second, I was wondering if he maybe saw the Baneling Nest being built earlier and didn't see that it was cancelled, but we got a confirmation with a view that he actually never knew that there was a Baneling Nest started for a few seconds.
Yeah. So, I mean, considering seeing only 2 base, that kind of makes sense for the spines, but this actually may force a cancel. It definitely will. And he gets the drone as well, and gets away with most of his Zerglings. Nice.
Really good touch here, and good move by Effort. And Sleep at least holds at the wall. So that was really important, that he had those Roaches there, that he didn't leave himself open to a potential run by into the main base.
I really like that, actually, that he had those 3 Roaches there in hold position, making sure nothing's getting by.
The problem, I feel, is that Effort is just getting a lot of units into the game right now.
And he's so ahead, and he may even snipe this drone again. He gets it.
And he will be able, with the Roaches, to potentially deny the third base again. And if that happens, then it's basically already lights out for Sleep.
Yeah, I mean, look at the army supply here, 66 to 38. He's got a massive lead. His Roach count is insane, and he will actually have the +1 attack. The armor upgrade will be finished for Sleep, but still, it's about numbers here for Roaches, I feel.
And he cut drones. You know, he's on 3 bases, but he's only on 47 harvesters. And I am not sure if Sleep realizes this. I'm actually pretty sure that he doesn't. So more and more Roaches are coming into play for Effort, and he's just running across the map right now, timing it really well with his +1 attack, trying to snipe that third base, and Sleep is already on the run. Sleep needs to defend this somehow. If he doesn't, it's going to look very tough for him.
Exactly. Here we go. The engagement starts. Effort with a fairly competitive Roach count here, actually trying to get a concave. The defender's advantage, though, with that Queen and with the Transfuse and the +1 Carapace, it looks like he's actually able to defend.
Roaches being split into the main base in natural. Maybe Effort wanted a little bit too much here. He sends another force over to that third now for the cancel, and I think he will get the cancel. This is something that Sleep didn't expect, and he's still losing units in the main base and at the natural. That hatch has to be canceled, and there it is.
Cancel goes down. He's going to get the drone as well. He's losing a lot of Roaches to do this, but the harassment they did in the main and the natural might make up for it. Plays Ring Around the Rosie here. Snipes a Queen. That's huge. And now he's going to split his Roaches once more, trying to get a few more drones. This buys him time to get his own Roach force back up, and also the drone up a little bit. The Harvester count 50 to 50 right now.
Sleep would be very well advised to immediately counterattack now.
He needs to. He absolutely basically has to. That was a nice block there.
He killed a lot, and he knows it. He knows that he actually took down a lot of the army of his opponent, and I'm not really sure if it was worth it for Effort. He denies the third base for a little bit longer, but he didn't really kill a whole lot. He didn't kill a lot of Harvesters, and those Queens, I'm not quite sure if that's really worth it, because right now he has to somehow stop this army, Effort that is, and I doubt that he can.
Well, you know, that's a really good point. The Rocks are buying a little bit of time here, and Sleep still has the better upgrades. He's at 1-1 against just +1 attack right now for Effort. Effort is contaminated here, and he may just have to let this base go.
Yeah, he's trying to wait for more Roaches, but he has to fight now, and he does. The upgrades are currently in Sleep's favor, and the Roach numbers as well. It's 42 against 20, and he has most of them already at the bottom left of the map, so it looks like Effort might actually lose this game. He's down 60 supply, 70 supply already, and that's it.
GG.
GG. Effort just simply lost too much attacking that third base.
Yeah, he basically traded his whole army for killing a third base, got very little damage done to the economy, and Sleep ties things up here. This is such a tense series right now. One of these players is going to code B, and we're tied up 1-1 right now. Effort making a very rash decision to go for that timing. He could have tried to trade at the front with the Roaches. I think as soon as he saw that he was going to lose his whole army for the third base, he could have just walked home and said, well, you know what, your third base is late anyways, let's drone up a little bit, let's try to get our upgrades up a little bit. I don't think he had to commit there, and losing that army was what cost him the game, because the counterattack for Sleep was just solid. And he just had such a great Roach count.
Yeah, he lost too much. He just simply lost way too much there, Effort that is. And I'm not really sure if he had to attack there. He got a solid lead already with forcing a cancel twice with the Zerglings and sniping that drone. That was a good job. Well done. He fell behind a little bit in the upgrades, but I think he did not really need to commit there. But Sleep good defense, splitting his roaches quite well to just counter those attacks that we had by effort in the main base and at the natural. So coming back into the series, and now maybe the one who gets the confidence out of the last win that he needs in map number 3 to make that work. Frost is going to be that map.
Ooh, a big map, so he wants to play the late game here. He's actually had a decent amount of success with that in the ZVZ matchup, so we'll see if he gets to that point. And Sleep, got to be stressed out, but he's got the momentum on his side now. He takes the most recent win. This is tense, Keller. 1-1. Looks like the map is loading. These two players looking very serious here.
It's going to be either Effort versus Rune or Sleep versus Rune. Who's going to advance to the consolation match? We're going to find out right now. GSL Code A with Carl and Wolf going into the last Zerg versus Zerg of Group B.